A monster sequel and a rock and roll biography premiere on area screens this week.
And as always, here to tell us about Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Rocketman are film critics Pam Powell and Chuck Kaplinski.
So before we get started, earlier we were talking about our top 5 most watched movies, like that we could watch, that we have watched over and over. What would just be one of yours? I know we're putting you on the spot here. We didn't prep you for this.
I could watch Cinema Paradiso over and over and over again.
Chuck is like already rolling his eyes.
I'm not rolling my eyes. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, well, then you need to.
Something comes out.
Last time I took your advice, it was very bad advice.
Chuck, what's
I challenge you then.
Chuck, is there a movie you've watched over and over?
There's an old Humphrey Bogart movie called The Treasure of the Sierra Madre that I watch again and again. I always get something new out of it. I love it. And if it's not that, then it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
my.
Well, that's a twist.
Didn't see that coming.
Both.
I'm going to throw The Hustler in there.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if Godzilla is going to make the list of movies we want to watch over and over and over.
I wanted it to be on that list, okay? I really wanted Godzilla, King of the Monsters to be on a list of films that I would watch again and again. I liked the reboot in 2014, and I loved Kong Skull Island 2 years ago. These are all of a series of what is called the Monsterverse from Legendary Pictures, and this is the third one, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and he ain't the only monster. Let me tell you, there's 17 of these bad boys in this movie, and it's a mess. There you see Mothra, the benevolent, really big moth, and Mothra's really cool. She can spit like webby things and get people, which is neat. And you're also going to see Rodan, which is an atomic pterodactyl, and you don't mess with him. And there's Ghidra, the 3-headed monster, the worst of the worst, who they refer to as Monster Zero.
Okay, it's coming back to me, the other ones in these movies that you actually did like, right?
Yeah, I did. This one, actually, believe it or not, is rather dull. Which I did not expect I was going to say. There's a crackpot scheme going on. A woman, a doctor played by Vera Farmiga, has figured out that she needs to release all these monsters in order to then get environmental harmony back. She kind of pulls a page from the Thanos playbook here as far as this is going. But things get out of hand, so they need a benevolent monster to take down all the other monsters. And of course, we've got Godzilla on our side. This movie, I'm telling you, again, I wanted to love it, but the problem with this is that you can barely see what's going on a good chunk of the time.
Dark?
Dark, so dark. And I know they do this in order to hide some of the special effects defects and things like that. But see right there, many of the battles take place in overcast, rainy situations, and you can't really see what's going on. And then the director also adapts this quick cutting editing thing, which doesn't help either. I want to see these things. I want to see limbs ripped from monsters' bodies. I want to see buildings just throw down so that I can see this. I really couldn't see enough.
This should not surprise any of us, since Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the movie he would watch more than any other.
And you haven't seen it, so don't talk.
I haven't. I'm just assuming.
Okay. I wanted to like it, but it was rather dull. So,
Pam,
but Kong,
I am seeing it tonight, and now I can't wait.
Okay.
You're going to love it.
Oh, my word.
Clearly. I bet you're really looking forward to it now after that.
Absolutely. I'm just glad that I'm going to be in one of those Barco loungers that I can put my feet up and
Are you
relax.
an Elton John fan?
I am an Elton John fan. I really am. Unfortunately, I'm not quite as big of a fan of this movie as a lot of other critics are. It's a good film, an absolutely wonderful film to see, but it just didn't live up to my expectations. It's all about Elton John as a child. We meet him as an adult as he flashes into this AA meeting in full garb and then spills his soul to everyone who will listen to his story as to why he is the way he is, why is he an addict. It's beautifully done from the beginning, and we're able to see why he wasn't loved as a child and why he has the issues that he has. Great music, a wonderful type of musical, really, kind of a throwback to old musicals in some ways. It just kind of lagged a little bit in the middle and just didn't grab me as much as I wanted it to. Maybe it just had so much hype it couldn't live up to it.
Do you think the success of the Queen movie put a damper on this one since that was so successful?
I think that there's going to be a lot of comparisons. So far, I've heard people say that they didn't like Bohemian Rhapsody and they loved this one and vice versa. Two totally different stories in the way the story is told, but as far as the similarities among the group and the person, Elton John, a lot of similarities, and the story has been told before, very predictable.
Meeting Gorbachev is up at the Art Theater.
Yes, if you go to our website, Real Talk with Chuck and Pam, you'll see my review. Fascinating documentary, Meeting Gorbachev, in which the director, Werner Herzog, sits down and talks to this former Russian leader. Very misunderstood guy, and this sets it straight. Fascinating movie.
And he's the one with the
Yes.
thing. Yeah. Making sure. All right.
Tim's on top of things.
Did you really quickly, Rocketman, yes or no?
Didn't see it, so I'm going
Okay.
to see that tonight. So tomorrow when you turn in the morning show, you're going to get our
Get the
opinions
reverse.
on the other.
Well, look at you guys.
All right.
There we go.
Check out their Facebook page, their website, sign up for the newsletter. They're amazing folks, and you can catch them here on Thursdays as well. We'll get you all the details on our website.